with Gary Owen, the military's favorite comedian, and we got questions. We want to know how to laugh in a pandemic, Gary. You have been there for us through thick and thin, coming to visit us. You can't visit in person, but we got you on virtual. It's the best we can do, and we're happy about that. So we'll start with the questions that we got from our installation here at Royal Air Force Mildenhall. And the first one is, where do you draw comedic inspiration from these days? Like with everything going on in the world, where are you drawing your comedic inspiration? We got racism, we got the pandemic, we got injustice, we got drugs and things going on. Where do you draw your comedic inspiration?
Mine, you know what? I don't put that much thought into it. I always think like, if I'm thinking this, other people are thinking it. Or if I see something, I'm like, somebody else saw it the way I did. So I've always prided myself on being able to know how far to push the envelope without going too far. Yeah. And I think that's why I've lasted as long as I have in this business with no real pushback on my jokes. Because I am a white guy and I do deal with a lot of racial topics where, you know, a lot of times you see the black comics dealing with the racial topics, racial aspect more than the white comics. So I don't know. I just always prided myself on knowing how far to push the envelope. And you know, when you're in like a relationship with a black woman and you have mixed kids, yeah. I mean, that's where your jokes come from, and not just hers. Like it's like family members, and sure. I'm kind of like a fish out of water in every holiday.
Yeah. Well, we love you drawing in your family members and you know, using them for inspiration as well. But with that, in this pandemic, how do you maintain your mental health and your spiritual health?
With me, especially, you know, being a comedian, I'm so used to being on the road, and all of a sudden when it hit last year, I was basically unemployed for like 4 months. So my thing, and it really went back to my military days, is I just got in a routine. And the most simplest things was like, I told myself I got to do it. Like I had my routine where I'd get up, I'd have my cup of coffee, and I'd make a little video for people on social media. And then I walked my dog. Let me tell you, I had some epic dog walks. Me and my dog bonded over this pandemic. At one point, she just stopped walking. She was like, I'm good. We've gone too far.
You're taking it to the next level, yeah.
I was starting to feel like Denzel and Book of Eli. I was just wandering. but my thing was every day just getting a routine. Like we had a Peloton bike, so I made sure I got on that. And then it sounds bad. I was doing DDP yoga, Diamond Dallas Page yoga, and it was like yoga for guys. It was just
okay. Okay.
I had shows that I watched. And it was funny, even when it comes to TV, you know, with Netflix, you can binge watch stuff. Yes. I just would tell myself, no, I'm watching one episode. I took it back like when TV, you could only watch stuff once a week. I go, Tuesdays are Ozark. You know what I mean? Wednesday is All American. And I'd have to force myself to watch one episode, even if I wanted to watch the next one. I go, nope, I don't know how long it's gonna end. So for me, it kind of went back to my military days where you get kind of in the routine of stuff.
Yeah. That's good advice. Absolutely. That's good advice for our airmen. So you guys, if you're listening and you need some help making it through, what helped Gary was a routine. So absolutely. Thank you for that. So what's been the worst part of the pandemic for you?
The masks.
I know.
Oh, not just the mask, but my face was breaking out because I guess my breath is hot. I didn't realize how warm my breath was. Just like, it's really moist in here. I hope everybody gets vaccinated, double vaccinated, so we can get rid of these masks. That's the worst for me at this point.
Yes.
I'm like,
you're trapped. You're trapped in there. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's really, I read up somewhere and they said, you know, when we do get out of it and the CDC says it's safe and we start wearing masks, people are very much going to treat it like POWs leaving a POW camp after years. You're like, am I okay? Like,
can I? Yes.
Take the mask off?
It feels awkward, yes, to take off your mask in public here. Absolutely. Because we, military, we follow the rules.
I know, but it's funny because then you become judgmental of people when they don't have it on. Like if you're in Texas and Florida, some places it's not required, and you literally will. I travel a lot. I'll go and I'll be like, "Yo, why ain't you guys mask on?" And I'm like, "Oh, you don't have to here."
Yes, different regulations. Yes, and this is so cool because this is going to air like on the final leg of the lockdown lift here in the UK. So this is going to push us all the way through to that next leg of the lockdown lift. July 21st is when we finally come out. So June 21st is when we finally come out. So thank you for helping us get there. So what are you grateful for about the pandemic? Anything?
What made me grateful? You know what? It made me appreciate my my job because you know, as you only know this if you're a comedian, our first love is that stage, and it's the interaction with the audience, and it keeps us going. It keeps us young. It's honestly, it's my drug of choice. I've never done drugs. I got that first laugh, and I was addicted. And taking that away, I was like, when I got back on the road, I think I just appreciated it so more because when you first start out as a stand-up, you just want stage time. And then it becomes a business. You start selling tickets, then you're worried about ticket prices, how much money, what's the overhead, what, you know, it's all the little things. But when you take that away and you came back, it really was like, God, I really have the best job for me.
Yeah.
People have stage fright. For me, I have the best job. I don't want any other job than this. And I think I just appreciate it so much more.
How did you know that you were funny? Like, what was your first laugh that made you feel like, wow, I can make a living making people laugh?
I always knew it. I always knew it. I joined the military, and this sounds crazy. I joined the Navy out of high school because I didn't know where I wanted to go. I just know where I didn't want to be. So I'm living in a trailer park, small town in Ohio. So the military was a way out. Like, wait a minute, you're gonna give me a plane ticket and fly me to another state, and you're gonna feed me? That's all I heard.
That's it.
Wait a minute, feeding me, and you're giving me clothes?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in.
Right.
But my thing was, the military was going to be a way for me to figure out how to become a comedian. As crazy as that sounds. And people that I was in the military with will tell you, I told everybody I'm going to be a comedian. Everybody.
Yeah.
I said, no, I'm going to be a comedian. I'm going to do my time, but I'm going to be a comedian. And then the first chance I got to get stationed in California, I thought the whole state of California was LA. I didn't realize there's a Fresno. There's a bigger there's a Eureka. There's a Sacramento. I'm going off, there was a video called I Wish They All Could Be California Girls by David Lee Roth.
Yeah.
I thought that was California.
That was it, right.
I got stationed in San Diego. I go, oh, there's other cities here.
Yeah.
So the goal was to get to California, and then I could start being a comedian.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
What was your career field in the military? Maintenance?
Well, 2 years I was in the honor guard in DC. So we did the parades and the funerals, Arlington and stuff. And then after 2 years I got done with that, I was a master at arms. So I went to A school at Lackland in San Antonio. Then I went to what they call C school, it was Briggs School.
Okay.
That was in Fort McClellan, which is Anniston, Alabama. I don't know if that base is open anymore. That was an Army base. And then I got stationed in San Diego.
Okay.
Master at arms rest. I was a cop, basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Security forces. Okay. So how did that military experience, your military experience, you said 6 years, how did that prepare you for life in hard times? I know you prepared for hard times because you had a hard life growing up, but how did the military help you get through some of the hard times that you may be going through now with the pandemic, and how has that helped you?
I'll tell you why the military was such an eye-opener to me. And it's a funny story. I was in boot camp, and I'll never forget, my bunkmate was a black guy from South Carolina. His name was Copera Washington. I'll never forget it. And we were getting letters mailed from home. And he was on a tractor. And I go, you on vacation or something? And he was like, no, this is where I'm from. I go, black people don't live on farms. And I'm from the Midwest. Black people live in the city. And he goes, what? And he called this black dude from Alabama this black dude from Mississippi, this black dude from Georgia over there. It's like, Gary, what you just tell me? I go, black guys don't live on farms. And they were like, we all live on farms.
Right. We all got a tractor, right?
What? Black people live in the country? Black people go fishing? I didn't know that.
Yeah, you didn't. You don't know. Yeah, you don't know.
So,
yeah.
For that reason, I was like, whoa. And I'm so like thankful I saw that at 17 years old. And then you just start talking and then you start building a rapport. And the beauty of the military, especially boot camp, you're all making the same amount of money. Ain't nobody better than nobody else.
Right.
We all got the same outfits. We know how much money we get every 2 weeks. So it's just like everybody's on equal terms. And it was funny because we used to, Sundays we would get like an hour or 2 hours. We had to clean the barracks and stuff, and we get to play music. So there was a compromise. So the brothers had to hear their music, and then the country white dudes had to hear their music. Those two types of people are passionate about their music.
On either side.
It was just funny watching like me. I can listen to everything, so it was just funny like watching the dynamics of how music would just bring out the cleaning in people. And
it does. It does.
And then the country dude, the white country dudes wanted to hear Garth Brooks and stuff like that.
Right. I like country music. I like the story of country music. The sound sometimes I can't quite get with, but the stories I love. So let me ask you this question. What advice would you give an airman who is lonely, away from family, in a different country, in the pandemic, can't travel and enjoy leisure activity because of the lockdown, still have to wait a whole nother month before it's lifted? Like, what could you tell them to hold on to hope?
I would just talk to people.
Yeah, connect.
Literally. And not like trying to be depressing. I am gonna be depressing. Just start conversations with people. Yeah. Like, get out of your comfort zone a little bit. And it sounds easier. It really is that simple. And you'd be amazed what can come out of a simple, hello, how you doing? You from here? You know what I mean? Agreed. This is what people love to do. People love to talk about where they're from. And especially in the military. So if you can build that rapport with somebody, and listen, even if you're not interested where they're from, just act like it. You know, like if you say where you're from, and just be like, oh, I'm from Milwaukee. Like, oh, okay. The Brewers. You a Packers fan? Just find some kind of rapport. Yeah. You know, that's I always like that. I'd always speak to people.
Yeah. You know? And that's me too. I'm kind of a chaplain. It's kind of my job. It's hard because people have that 6 foot distance and they're growing into that. They're feeding into it. I'm like, no, don't go. Yeah. So have you gained?
They're over to compliment when you talk to somebody.
Yeah. Right.
That's news.
Right. That's true. It's
always
true.
Turn over to compliment and just break it.
It's true.
I think it lets people's guard down.
Yes, I agree. So have you gained that extra COVID weight? You don't look like you have. You like you lost weight.
Yeah. No, I haven't gained it. I think in the beginning I gained a few pounds. Yeah. I indulged the first week because we didn't know what it was going to be. Yeah. How long? But no, I think I've got it all.
Oh,
no.
Cool.
Okay. I had the Peloton bike. Remember? I had the bike.
Oh, that's right. You had the bike.
Epic dog walks.
Right, walking the dog. Right. What has living through the pandemic taught you about yourself so far?
I can get through anything.
Yeah.
I can get through anything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, I always looked at it like a lot of people look at it like, God, we lost money or this and that. I always looked at it like it's kind of cool to know we're living in history.
Right.
Like this year, last year, 2020, history book stuff. Because we had the crazy presidential election. Yeah. We had the Black Lives Matter movement kick in and the pandemic in the same year. There's some years like 1997, nothing happened.
College, right? Yeah.
Some years you're like, what happened that year?
Right.
2020 will never. So I almost looked at it like we are a part of history. I'm talking about when kids get to school in 30 years.
Sure.
They're gonna learn about 2020. It's
gonna be in the books. Yep.
Yeah. So we're part of it. Like you always heard, like our grandparents, World War II or Vietnam and the civil rights movement and things like that. And to hear about it, I can't put it together. Yeah. I wasn't there. I wasn't a part of it. But
sure.
Now there's going to be the next generation going to be like, what?
You're going to be like, wow.
We wear masks all day, bro. All day.
We hated it. Yeah. So what would you say, has this pandemic made you a germaphobe? Like, are you afraid to shake hands and stuff now?
I'm more of a germaphobe than I was, but that hand sanitizer is on deck.
Right.
My thing, my thing is more on planes. Like, I'm really wiping everything down. And I go, I flew for 20 years and didn't wipe nothing down.
Never paid attention. Yeah.
I'm wiping everything.
Vigorously, yes.
By the way, if anybody's flying for this breaks, just wear your mask on the plane.
Yeah.
I don't understand the flight attendants keep having to tell the same two people every flight, mask. And I've never seen people eat so slow.
Yeah.
They will milk those peanuts, boy.
I gotta breathe, right?
It's like, one at a time.
Break it in half.
Don't hold them until the flight attendant comes by. Be like,
no, I'm eating.
still got the peanuts.
Are you picking up any extra habits during the pandemic that you didn't do before?
Any extra habits? Nah.
No.
No, I think I'm just I'm more how can I say it? I'm more observant of things since the pandemic.
Yeah.
I found myself watching people more rather than, because comedians, we talk so much.
Yeah.
I found myself falling back and just observing people's behaviors and how they move and stuff. It's funny listening to people's conversations now, eavesdropping at Starbucks.
Right. Okay. Have you caught the online shopping bug? That was another question. Have you?
I didn't, but members of my family did. Good Lord. I didn't catch it.
I'm not a big online shopper either. Yeah.
Especially with clothes, because my body's weird. I'm like between I don't know. Sometimes I'm like between a large XL and some between an XL and a 2XL. I don't know. I got to try shirts on.
I got to try it on. Yeah.
Buy them online.
Yeah. Okay. How have you been reinventing your comedy? Have you reinvented your comedy? Does that happen? Like, you go through phases of like just life does that, or you like as you develop as a human, does it get reinvented? How does that work?
Yeah, I think as a comedian, you're always reinventing yourself because you're growing, and you're getting whatever age group you're in. That's what you're talking about. Kids are teenagers now, so stand-up, we're always growing. And I don't think we ever reach our goals as a stand-up. Because if you sell 1,000 tickets, you want to sell 2,000. If you win an Oscar, you want to win another Oscar. You never really reach your goals as a comedian. You're always chasing them. So I mean, that's pandemic or no pandemic. That's just being a stand-up. You're always growing and challenging yourself.
What is it that makes you smile? Like what makes you smile? You're always making everybody else smile. Like what makes you smile?
I don't know. I think we, especially during the pandemic, I think we got caught up in thinking, letting the media, and the media is a necessary tool, I get it, but we also let them dictate how we think society is and how people act towards each other. So when I'm out in public now, and I always live my life like day to day, I don't identify as a Democrat or Republican or independent. I think when you do that, you have a hard time having an open mind to other people's thoughts. So what I appreciate now is when I'm out and I just see people talking and interacting, or when I can have conversations with people now. I think like I said, I kind of said it earlier, I'm really finding myself listening more to people. Because I think once you listen, then people feel like, oh, you kind of talk about anything, honestly. Talk about anything if you're open to listening to somebody else's point of view.
Yep.
And I think the internet over the pandemic, what I took most of was, that's not how everybody thinks.
Yeah.
That's not how everybody acts. They really do a good job of getting you the clickbait, to give you the title,
of course.
And then you click on it, you're like, that's not really what that was about.
Right. That's right. Yeah. So that's what makes you smile, is like interaction. But what makes you cry? What makes Gary Owen cry?
Oh my gosh. My football team, the Cincinnati Bengals.
Do you really cry? You shed tears for real?
Listen, if we ever win the Super Bowl, oh my God. Talking Notebook type team. No, I don't know. What makes me cry? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, family, I don't want to get too dark. Family members passing. You know?
Okay.
I had a brother pass away a couple years ago.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think I didn't cry for probably 15 years.
Wow.
And when my brother passed, Jesus.
Oh,
Just
man.
the thought of him just gets me going.
Wait,
We were
so
close.
you have a brother, I just know from your comedy that what you're sharing, you have a brother in prison?
He's in and out.
In and out of prison. That's
I don't
not
know where he's at right now. I don't know if he's in or out.
Okay. So the one that passed which one passed away?
My brother Dallas. He had a heroin overdose.
Oh.
It was he thought it was heroin, but it was fentanyl in the heroin, so he shot up. And he had been battling a long time. I mean, it was like, I think there was like 4 overdoses before he passed.
Wow.
But it was a lot because when you're you know, like me, the quote unquote big brother, you're fighting so hard to keep him alive.
Yeah.
Almost more than he is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to lose him at all, but you know,
Sure.
you wish he would see the value in his life as much as I did.
As much as you did. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. May he continue to rest in peace. What's your greatest pet peeve?
For what? Myself or people?
People.
I don't know why lately I've been seeing a lot of people biting their fingernails and then doing this. It really bothers me. Be like,
And just like nobody saw that. Yeah.
lately, I've seen that so much at restaurants, planes. I'm like, dude, I see you.
Yeah.
On.
Yeah. I guess maybe.
Where's that going? That is pet peeve. And people that smack when they eat.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Food smackers?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
A no-go.
TV and stuff. I ain't throwing up names under the bus, but one of my openers is one of the greatest food smackers in the history of food smackers. So when we're in the green room eating in between shows, someone will be looking at me like, dude, enough, bro.
Okay. Yeah, that is, yeah.
That pizza tasty?
Yeah. We're all aware that you're eating. Thank you. Yes. Okay. So what is you had a lot of comedy. You did a lot of comedy about your cousin who has disabilities. Yes. Yeah. And the streets want to know, does she know that you are doing comedy about her? And is she okay with that?
She loves it. She feels like she's famous.
Oh.
And I got pushback a couple years ago on the jokes I told about her because I didn't know you're not supposed to say the R word anymore. Mm-hmm. See, I didn't know. We grew up, that's what we said. And I didn't, listen, when I said the R word, I didn't use it as a put down. I used it as a description. Kind of like I got a cousin Joey, he's tall. I'm describing him. Yeah. But I wasn't using it in a malicious intent. I was painting a picture for the audience. Yeah. God, I got attacked by so many different people for saying that word. I go, and that's the thing, like, instead of having a conversation with me, I got attacked. Yep. But there was a few people that would like DM or instant message me on Facebook that, you know, would really talk to me and was telling me about it and why that word's hurtful and da-da-da. Yeah. I was able to have a good conversation in private, but people to make the public comments, woo! You had to, yeah. They're so mad. I know. Like, I wish listen to the whole joke. Yeah. That word and automatically going, boom. Listen to the whole joke. Right. My thing with her is people always say, like, when I talk about my cousin Tina, and I always say, look, I don't think I'm better than her. And by me not thinking that, I'm including her in my jokes. If I felt sorry for her, I wouldn't include her in my jokes. Right. So in my mind, I'm like, we're equal terms. She can make fun of me. Yeah. I heard you say that in comedy, like you said, you feel like everybody can be made fun of. Like you don't discriminate. Everybody can be made fun of. Including me. Including you. I'm not taking offense to it at all. That's the best comedy. Yeah. To me, that's the best. Yeah. So when can we expect you over in the UK in person? That's what people want to know. Dude, whenever they lift this pandemic. You coming over here? I want to come to the base and perform. Okay. Yay! That's what I was waiting for you to say. That's awesome. They gotta lift it though. I know. It'll be soon. It'll be soon, but we all don't know how soon and how long that will last. Now, where is exactly that base at?
In the UK, we are.
Not London.
Yeah, we're like an hour and a half from London.
Okay, that sounds.
Suffolk area.
Okay.
I don't know if that helps, but yeah.
I know London.
I still haven't been to London. Yeah.
Manchester, right?
Yes.
London, I think that's it. That's just because soccer. Manchester.
Okay. Yeah. I don't, and we've been here a while, but still haven't been to London because of the lockdown. So
right.
Hopefully pretty soon. So a couple more questions before we close out. One is, what is your biggest regret in life? And if you could do something over, what would you do differently and why?
Who's coming up with these deep questions on your They need to end this lockdown. We need some lighthearted.
It's funny because we get to ask you questions about life and watch you draw the comedy out of like the deep stuff. I think this is hilarious.
My biggest regret in life?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's so hard because it's like you can't change the past. You just gotta learn from it. So it's like there's a lot of things I wish I would have did different. Coming up, I don't know. I wish, as far as professionally, I think I wish I would have taken acting classes more serious when I first moved to LA. I got a lot early, like movies and stuff like that. Yeah. So I thought that's how it worked. You just get offered, and then I don't think I wasn't taking the auditions as serious. I still would learn my lines and stuff, but I really was in the mode of, why didn't I get it? Instead of just like being thankful for the opportunity to get in front of a casting director or a producer or a director. So that would be one. What was the other question?
I think you answered it with that. You said, what would you do differently with that?
Yeah, it's kind of a twofold. That's professional. That's professional.
Okay. And who's the comedian that inspires you most or has inspired you most?
I wouldn't say one comedian. I'll put two nowadays terms. So I think two of the biggest right now are Kevin Hart and Dave Chappelle, right? I think everyone would universally say that. And they're both friends of mine. And it's funny because when you're not around them, because comedians, we don't see each other as much as you think because we're all touring in different cities and y'all got your own lives. But when you get around them, you get it why they're so popular and people want to work with them. And Kevin is one thing, but Dave, there's something about being around Dave Chappelle that draws you in, and you're just like, I'm so glad you like me.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you think I'm funny. And he's so inclusive, and he really lives life the way you wish everybody would live it.
Yeah.
He really does. Like he's not into the flash and pomp and circumstance. And he's the freest comedian. It's almost a jealous thing because he's so free. He really can say whatever he wants. And nobody takes offense to it.
Yeah.
Because he's smarter than he's 2 steps ahead of us.
He's smart, yeah.
When it comes to when that one YouTube video he did where he really went in on Don Lemon a little bit. And everybody knows Don Lemon's sensitive and gets offended over that. I was like, when Don Lemon was just happy that he knew Dave Chappelle knew him, I was like, oh, this is some other stuff going on. If I would have said that about Don Lemon, he would have went off.
They coming for you.
The fact that Dave said, he was so like, oh, I'm just happy to be in. My name came out of his mouth. I go, but when you're around Dave, he just makes you feel like so wanted and important, and I can't explain it. You just gotta be around. And Kevin is different, but when you're around him, you get why people want to work with him and are drawn to him. Yeah. It's real. You just feel better about yourself when you're around people like that. You leave the room and you're like, oh, I feel good.
Like genuine people, like they were themselves.
Yeah. Some people suck the energy out of a room. We all know people that enter a room and you're like, oh my gosh. We'll be leaving. Or when she leave? I gotta get out of this room.
Yeah.
Immediately, it's like a black cloud follows.
Right.
We know people like, there's people like that. I'm not gonna. There are people like that in the business too. Like, whoa.
Right. Right. I think we know people like that too in the military. We all can absolutely relate to that.
Yeah.
Thank
I had
you.
a couple.
I don't know, you strike me as one of those people, Gary. You strike me as one of those people who, like, I feel like I know you, like, because I've seen you in TV and comedy. You seem like that. You just seem very genuine, and I feel like that's what the world needs. So what you see in Dave Chappelle and Kevin Hart, that's what I see in you. That's what the world sees in you too. So thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for that.
So absolutely. So we're wrapping up, and you're leading us into the lockdown lift, and we're just so grateful to have you. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for sharing comedy via Zoom. Like who knew that this was going to be something that was going to be prominent in our culture right now? But thank you for sharing with us and doing this, making this possible for our installation. We appreciate you. We love your comedy. You are the military's, you are the Air Force's favorite comedian, the military's favorite comedian, and we're just grateful. So thank you.
Thank you. And what is the view behind your chair? I mean, the whole time we've been talking, like, what is her view in that office?
This, right? So in the UK, everything is like super small. So this is my office. And so this is my house. That's my, like, okay, bookshelf and window here. That's
I can't see what your view is.
Oh, you want to? Oh, come on.
I want to see what the view is outside. I'm like,
it's my neighbors. Now I'm like minding their business. Can you see that?
Is that base housing?
No, that's just my neighbors in the UK. It's like a round corner. Yeah.
UK neighborhood.
Yeah, that's the UK neighborhood. Thank you for that.
I was wondering. I was like, what is the? I think it's on the base. I don't know why it's on the base.
Thank you so much, Gary. I appreciate you, sir.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we love you. God bless you.
All right. I'll see you guys.
All right. See you. You promise. Yeah. See you soon.
Yeah. As soon as the lockdown's over, I'm coming.
Yay. We're going to hold you to that. Thank you.
All right. Bye.